Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest hitter. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Damn, I'm still the last. You move slow and I move fast. And that fact, only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. 'Cause that's what it takes.
All right, y'all. Happy Saturday. Welcome. I wasn't going to do a live tonight, but Anya and Dan said they're waiting. And so let's see who shows up tonight. We got a few things to talk about anyways. But if we didn't talk about them tonight, we were definitely going to talk about them tomorrow. And we'll see how long we can do this live tonight without my wife walking in here and saying, "You told me you weren't doing a live tonight. I thought we were going to watch a movie." Good Lord, it is cold here, you guys. Anybody else dealing with we were back up to like 60 degrees there in the middle of the week, and now it's down in the 30s again. My toes are freezing. My fingers are freezing. Anya, howdy. Chinese Kangaroo says, RIP GameStop. What are you worried about with GameStop? It's at $25. $25. Ryan Cohen, I got his in some of my tabs here. I have his article, his interviews up, Wall Street Journal, CNBC. He's going on Charles Payne on Monday, 2 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. Michael Burry's going to write up another write-up on GameStop with some ideas of who he thinks Ryan Cohen should buy with his money. He said he's going to put out another article before Charles Payne on Monday. There's a lot of moving parts here. I'm excited. I'm not going to tell you who I think it is that he's buying. It's more fun to keep it a mystery. But as you guys know, the one reason that I'm invested in GameStop is not for MOAS, not for brick and mortar. No. Liquid, solid liquid solvent balance sheet, and a hope, a belief that Ryan Cohen will do something intelligent with that money. I think that, whatever he does, the market's going to judge it, based on results. But whatever he does, I think there could be some moment, at least, where we get some excitement, upward momentum, that might make an interesting swing trade for me. And then I will, as quickly as I can, try and digest whatever the news is and say, okay, is this now a swing trade, or is it, wow, you just blew me away, Ryan, and I need to hold this thing for a while? I don't know right now, guys. I can't tell you because I don't know who he's going to buy. I'd like him to buy something that is fairly immediately accretive, like a cash cow type business. Not, I've heard some crazy theories, and he wants to go rescue X company from naked shorts. He wants to go pick up this basket of failing companies and turn them around. I hope not. I mean, I'm going to trust him to use his judgment. If he picks up a basket of failing companies, I guess maybe he believes in himself. And I mean, he does have a tendency to try and dive in on failing companies, right? GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond. So I don't really know what he's going to do, but I'm hoping that he is a good steward of $9 billion and not just going to go gamble it away. Broke Ape says the new intro is fire. I've been using that intro for a while. That was something I did just for fun to practice some of my video editing skills. And then I never went back and leveled them up again. 17 degrees in Maryland. Anya says, ID search says 62 in Arizona. Regards to you in Germany. Net Casty, welcome. I did turn my heat up, Dan. Texas is weird. If you have a more modern home, you have thermostat on the upper and lower level if you've got a 2-story home. But in the older homes, anything built in the 80s or 90s or earlier, if you got a 2-story home, you probably have a thermostat upstairs, which really sucks because in the summer it's hot and your AC is running nonstop trying to get to that temperature to cool off the upstairs, and the downstairs gets like an igloo. And then in the winter, all the heat goes up there, and so the thermostat thinks it's toasty in the house. But down here, I'm freezing my arse off, Dan. Probably, even if I have the thermostat set for 72 upstairs, it's probably 65 down here. 13 in New York City, Brook Ape. Woo! God. Cash cow equals PSA. Yeah, Hallie, I like that. I like that. I will tell you, if you throw out a name, if I'm familiar with it, if I like it or not, I'm not going to make this video about me throwing out a bunch of ideas, because who the hell am I? He's given us only very few clues. How the hell would I know what he's looking at? Anya says, I'd like him to buy Railtown. Hey, Anya, did you see Twitter today? Someone got mad at me because I'm trying to explain to people, someone asked this morning, first tweet when I woke up, I don't understand why AMC can have a market cap of only $700 million. Someone make it make sense. It's too low. Well, he asked the question, someone make it make sense. And so I put out a tweet this morning talking about, hey, you guys might want to study up on what EV to EBITDA is. And boy, that did not go well for my day, because, there are a few people that appreciate that there are multiple ways to value companies. And EV to EBITDA is one of the basics, is one of the first things you learn in your freshman year in business school or taking any finance class. It's a common, well-used metric. But boy, don't you talk about it on social media. Tony, you shill. Don't talk about EV to EBITDA. Tell us about the amount of shares that are being traded off exchange. And what about naked shorts? You won't talk about that, will you? Price to sales, Tony. How come you never talk about that? Guys, if I'm not talking about it, it's not an accident. It's because I don't fucking care. They're irrelevant or useless. But for some reason, everyone on social media wants you to focus on things that don't matter. I almost think, I'm almost to that point that I think a lot of these accounts on social media are there to keep you dumb, keep you not focused on things that actually matter. I mean, I don't want to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, but it sure is feeling like a lot of these people, they fight hard. When you try and teach people, educate, level people up, you would be amazed at the amount of hate and threats that you get. Like, we're literally talking entry-level finance class stuff. I'm not making up some bearish theory. But Anya, to bring this back to your comment, one of these guys said, don't listen to this loser. Tony, why don't you go pump Railtown? Why don't you keep on pushing that one? Guys, anyone who's watched my Railtown video knows, first of all, the Railtown pumpers hate me. They will talk shit about me for 5 hours a day, and they do every day. Those are the pumpers. I cover Railtown not because I'm trying to get you to buy it, because the fucking pumpers are telling people that a 23-cent stock is going to $55. And I believe that you can cover a stock in a reasonable manner, talk about the pros and the cons, and have some reasonable analysis, not pumper analysis. These pumper price targets really piss me off. So I don't cover Railtown because I'm trying to make you buy it. Quite the opposite. It's speculative and non-revenue, which I cover in every video. And I say it might not be right for you. First of all, I want you to have a diversified portfolio of blue chip type companies, companies with profits, companies with growing revenues, a long history of it, companies with growing earnings, a long history of it. And if they pay dividends, a bonus. I don't want you speculating in crap until you have your business squared away. And you can afford, like some of us do, to muck around in some of these fun plays. That's what makes the day-to-day stuff interesting, speculative trades. But I do not want to see you lose all your money in one ticker. And so I believe that I've been more than upfront saying Railtown is highly speculative. There's no revenue at all. It's the most risky of the risk. Any company that is pre-revenue, what are you investing in? You're investing in a belief that one day they'll have revenue. Well, I don't know. I believe that will happen with Railtown, but I can't guarantee it. How do I tell you what it's worth? Anyhow, man, it's been quite a day. We're going to talk about silver. I got it up on the screen. Anya says, I think I have it figured out. Tony likes to cover stocks that others are spewing shite about. Anya, you're starting to get on my level. And it doesn't mean that I hate those companies, and it doesn't mean that I won't trade them. I often do, as you well know, Anya. I often trade a lot of tickers that are absolute shite. But it's because we're doing proper analysis. We're waiting for the right moment to snipe in and buy it. And then we hop out. and then we hop out. Just because it's a shite company, I'm not scared. If there's momentum, I'll trade it. But I'm not doing it all in. I'm not doing it. That's my only investment. No. It's just for fun. Anya says, Tony, in Discord, you compared Railtown to roulette, the game. I was pretty happy with your predictions. I did. I mean, there's risk, but there's also in everything we look at. What I'm trying to teach you guys how I look at things is probability of certain outcomes. For stocks, what is the probability of X, Y, or Z outcome? Don't just get in your mind, oh, I'm going to buy AMC, for example, and it's only going to go up. Is there other probable outcomes? Yeah, it's possible that it could go down. It's possible that they could go bankrupt. How much work are you doing to understand those scenarios so that you can accurately assign a probability to the various outcomes? If you think there's only one outcome, Railtown's going to $55, you are going to be wrong 99% of the time. You got to look at what are the possible ways this could go good or bad and assign some sort of probability to those, and then you can properly decide how much risk you're willing to take on and how much money you're willing to invest in that ticker. Kitty says, how do you define if a stock has momentum? Go watch Warrior, what's his name? Warrior Trading. Real good, big day trading channel. You're looking for stocks that are moving up. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You have high volume and increasing candles, and it doesn't stop. But that could be minute to minute. It could be on an hourly. It could be day to day. Each stock has its own momentum, Kitty. And we will trade all of them, but we will trade all of them a little bit differently. I can't just explain it to you in 5 minutes on a live stream, other than saying the trend is your friend, and you got to learn to read the charts. It's applied time, understanding moving averages, how they could act as support and resistance, watching the volume, looking at level 2. Silver, let's talk about that real quick because I have it on the screen. So this peak right here was on what day? 29th. If you're in the Discord, and they will tell you, I know Anya saw it. I posted on the 28th. It was right about here that I was unloading my silver position. Now, why would I do that? Why would I do that? I mean, look at this chart. It's gone from $28 to $120. I unloaded, I don't remember what it was, 104 or 102. I didn't get the absolute top. It went up a little more the next day, and I was okay with that. The reason I sold my silver, and the reason I've been saying AMC should sell the rest of their warrants, I'm out now of Hycroft and silver for the end of last week. I did not get in any of this drawdown. I escaped all of it. I locked in good profit. The reason I sold is that there's too many people pumping it, too many people excited, too many people saying they're going all in on silver. And I'm a little bit of a contrarian. How do you think I got that way? Looking at every single retail ticker. When there is overwhelming, everybody's buying it, I'm already looking for an exit. Because that tells me that you're likely reaching a top. And even if I'm wrong there, I was okay with my profit. So it didn't matter to me if it went up the next day. It doesn't matter to me if it goes up next week. I was worried on the 28th, I'll be honest with you, about a 50% drawdown in the price of silver. It went down 30%. So I'm pretty happy with my decision. Does that mean I'm bearish on silver? Does that mean I'm bearish on Hycroft? Does it mean I'm bearish on gold? No. It meant that to make myself sleep at night, I needed to take the profits off the table and sit back and wait and see if the drawdown I was expecting happens. It did. Now we will reassess. Did it drop enough? Are there enough macro things going on that it's going to shoot back up on Monday? Maybe I get in and pre-market. Maybe I buy some futures. I don't know. I'm going to be watching Sunday night when futures reopen. There's a lot of different theories out there from people way smarter than me that say they're convinced it's going to go back up on Monday. I saw these very intelligent people saying 100 is going to be the new floor. We could see $500 silver. What do I know? I'm not a silver expert, but I can see the momentum. I can see when it's getting too frothy out there on social media. And those same experts were saying last week that they were still buying. They were still buying. Everyone should buy. It just makes me want to get the fuck out. At some point, it makes me, there's too much FOMO. Too much FOMO. So, I mean, it'd be cool with me if I see a little bit of, buying activity going on Sunday night. Maybe I'll jump back in. I'm not scared of silver. I was scared of losing all of my profits. Anya says, the odd thing is my nephew sold his silver the same day as you, so there must have been some warning. Thank you, Broke Ape. He says, good stuff, escaping the silver fiasco. Someone asked me, that one of the guys that was complaining about my AMC EV to EBITDA discussion, he's like, I bet you didn't even buy Hycroft, did you? I bet this guy's complaining about me. He doesn't even follow my tweets or my channel. I tweeted months ago when I bought Hycroft. So you're wrong there. I felt very kind of dumb. Like I'm buying Hycroft. It's like, I don't know what it was, $9, $10, $11. This feels crazy to me, but I'm believe it or not, I'm going long and not for a swing trade. And I think that's what I posted. And I stuck it out until I got a profit that I was happy with. So don't be saying, Tony, you probably didn't do this or that until you checked my socials, because you're probably wrong. And if I'm saying something on camera, I have the receipts to back it up. Anya says, should we be looking at other metals? We probably should, Anya. I know you and I talked about that a week ago, and I need to set up some rooms in the Discord for some of the other metals. What else are you interested in? Uranium? I want to pull up this tweet that I shared with folks from Checkmate. Put this, he forwarded this tweet, and it was a conversation between Gary Savage and Michael Oliver regarding silver. I don't want to sound too bearish. I want to expose you guys to. Gary is president of the Smart Money Tracker Investing newsletter and advocate for the return of common sense to a world that is badly in need of it. He says, as far as I can tell, only myself and Michael Oliver understand what is going on in the metals market. I'm glad two of them understand it. I'm sure there are a few others. I just haven't seen them. Maybe Eric Sprott. Gary, do you know him? Metals have completed the first part of the bubble phase. When did he write this? He wrote it after the bubble popped. See, I felt it was getting bubbly on the 28th. And so I took an exit. But he says, metals have completed the first part of the bubble phase of a very mature secular bull market. This correction should be recovered quickly. When it does, that will bring in the general public, and that is what drives the second part of the bubble phase. I mean, isn't everybody and their dog lining up in silver shops? Everyone I talk to is trying to sell their silver. I'm going to go to the pawn shop. I'm going to go to the metal shop. I need to find somewhere to sell this stuff. I need a new computer. I need a new car. Seemed to me like everybody was well aware of silver price. He says the fact that the corrective phase separating the first part from the second part wasn't allowed to play out naturally just guarantees the final top will be even higher than 120. Yes, Friday's attack. Here's how he's telling us it went down. Friday's attack to rescue banks from their short positions has significantly increased the odds that we could see my upper target level of $500 within the next 6 to 8 months. Wouldn't that be fabulous? See, I mean, if that's true, I'd buy in at 75 to go to 500. Is that true, though? Is it? I don't know. Stay tuned. The gains made during this first part have been mind-blowing, but boy, you haven't seen anything yet. This momentum says, I don't think we'll ever see $50 again. Ooh, we got Damien here coming in hot. Whether metals recovers quickly or not remains to be seen, and you should not be so cocksure about your views, as markets can and do morph. And you will be changing gears and views if and when that happens. Gary firing back. Certainly true. I am making a call, not covering all the bases. If I'm wrong, then I'll have to switch gears and make a different plan. See, nobody ever reads down into this. They just like, oh boy, we're going to 500 on Monday, guys. Buckle in. Buckle in. Chris says metals are just warming up, nowhere near hot yet. I'm ready for round 2, Chris. I got my cash sitting in my account. I'm ready to see that chart turn around, and let's go for round 2. I'll do it with you. Let's do it. I'm not bearish. Let's go, says letting 100 shares run on HYMC. Man, I hope Hycroft comes back. Let's look real quick at gold, XAU, USD. It didn't have as big of a drawdown as silver. Down, what was it, like 10% on the day? 53 to 48, yeah, about 10%. Hycroft, HYMC, down 18% on the day. From 58 was the high a couple days ago to 37 after hours, down another 2.25%, 36. I mean, I hope, I moved my supply and demand zones here, by the way, to try and figure out if silver and gold rebound, do I want to try and catch a bounce on Hycroft? If it doesn't recover, and I hope it does, but everybody's going to be blaming Adam Aaron for not selling at 50, 55, 58. Only a few people got 58. But I saw Eric Sprott bought more. He bought 100,000 shares. You knew about that, right? A couple days ago at $49.95. And then we just found out on Friday, he bought another 200,000 shares at like 45, 46 bucks. Eric Sprott he's sold, man. He's on board. Hycroft. He's making me feel bad for paper handing. But what do I know? I'm not in a position where I can lose $1 billion as easily as Eric Sprott and then wake up happy the next day. Him is probably no big deal. If I lose $1 billion, it's going to be a rough next day. I'm going to be hating life. Chris says if silver gets anywhere near 50, I'm backing the truck up. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that, Chris. Let's hope we get another buying opportunity and then a bounce. And a bounce. BTC USD. Let's look at that next. What is weird, and I heard someone asking this, how is every single asset class crashing? Gold's crashing, silver's crashing, Bitcoin 78,000. For each 10,000 under 106, GameStop loses $47 million. So at 76,000 Bitcoin at the end of the night tonight, GameStop's quarter is over the last Saturday of January. That's today. We're looking at roughly $150 million loss for GameStop that will be booked in Q4. It's a unrealized loss, right? Unless they sold and locked in the loss. But it is negatively going to impact the earnings per share. That's not good. I haven't been talking about this for the whole month of January because I was hoping that we'd get a recovery back to 106. We've had a long time we've been watching this, but I don't know. Legend has it they're running Bitcoin down just to hurt GameStop. I'm sure you'll probably see someone make those videos. Not me. I'm predicting the future. You're going to see people make videos. They say the weather was to keep people from shopping at GameStop. 9/11 was to hurt GameStop. COVID was to hurt GameStop. Carvana was run up to hurt GameStop. And it's being run down probably to hurt GameStop too. I don't know. Silver was to hurt GameStop. It's funny, like in some people's world, they could fall out of bed, and that was because someone wanted to hurt them on their GameStop investment. Eternity on our lips says, what do you think about AI stocks? I've been looking at CXAI. I do own one AI stock, but I can't mention it because I'm not recommending it. Unless you say, Tony, I understand it's the riskiest shit out there, and I know you're not recommending it, but I'd still like to know the ticker. CXAI. Let's look it up. Provides experience solutions and delivering enterprise-grade software in the US, Canada, and the Philippines. Suite of tools to create smarter workplaces. Headquartered in Palo Alto. All right. Market cap 10 million, shares out 31 million. They make about $1 million quarter in revenue, and automatically I'm not a huge fan of companies that have declining revenue. So you just know that about me. It's nothing against CXAI. We're looking for companies that have a revenue trend chart going the other direction, increasing revenue every quarter. So that's a yellow flag for me. Operating income, never been positive. That's a red flag. Net income, obviously, never been positive. So, I mean, you're going to have to tell me a story. I'm not going to research this tonight, but you're going to have to convince me that they have a major turnaround in revenue coming that is going to put them in positive operating income situation. Shares outstanding, they have been doing considerable dilution. Shares outstanding has quadrupled since Q4 of 2022. So they're funding the company by dilution. We're not a fan of that. Cash is fairly steady. Balance sheet, let's look here. Positive shareholders' equity and slightly negative working capital. I'll give them a yellow on this. Maybe, I mean, it's not the worst balance sheet we've seen by far. Negative 700,000 working capital is not horrible, but when you got 5 million in cash, but it's not a perfect balance sheet. Cash flow, negative operating cash flow, obviously. And you can see the issuance of stock in here. One time they repaid it. Oh, that's debt issuance. Okay, so they got cash on their balance sheet from issuing debt. I don't know. I mean, I'll give you this. They have revenue. The one that I'm investing in has no revenue. So who am I to judge yours? But I have talked to management of the company I'm speculating, gambling in, and I believe they truly have a plan to flip on the revenue switch here in the next couple months. So we'll see how it looks after that. So yeah, I'm not going to say this one's horrible, but you got to tell me there's a revenue turnaround story. And that you would know by listening to management, reading press releases, listening to earnings calls. Hopefully they're doing all that and they've laid out their plan. And I don't have time to look into all that tonight. BW, what's up? He says, Tony, you cracked me up. What you're talking about? Because I won't say the ticker. Andrew, howdy. Kevin says, did AMC January box office exceed your estimates? That is a good question. Q1 2026. Here is, this left column is what I have forecast for each movie in Q1. And the right column is the actuals to date. And we're in January. So to answer your question, if it's in green, it did better, or it did as good or better than I had forecast. And most of these in the top here, the top 11, are carryovers from Q4. And they all, except for Wicked, they all did better than I forecast. And thank God, because if it wasn't for these Q4 holdover movies, look how bad January gets. Almost every movie underperformed my expectations. They're in the red. Almost every movie underperformed. I put Primate as green, but it's right at what I forecast back at the beginning of the month. I didn't have a number for this one. I don't know why. I didn't have a number. I think these got added in. These were award winners that just got dropped into the calendar. Mercy. We'll see how it does this weekend, but I think it really dropped off. It's probably going to be red. It's not going to meet my expectations. Send Help is doing good. I have it at 55. So to answer your question, overall, we're at 550 million or so before we get this weekend's number. I have 535, but there's some other limited release movies that I don't track. So I would say that January was maybe 100 million better than I was expecting because of all of these beats on the Q4 numbers. Zootopia did 15 million more than I thought so far, still going. Avatar did 30 more million. Song Song Blue did 15 million more than I was expecting. Anaconda did 10 million more. Carryover from last quarter. And Marty Supreme has done 22 million more in January than I was expecting. So that's $100 million I was not expecting. Off to a good start. You can see my number is somewhere, I think the minimum we'll do for Q1 is 1,500. 1.5 billion? Yeah, 1.5 billion. The problem is, even if it's 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, still pretty crappy. So come on, Q2. Yay. Any predictions on Charles Payne? Yeah, where is that? Cassandra Unlimited. Dr. Michael J. Burry says, Ryan Cohen will give his third interview in 3 days. This one live. We had the Wall Street Journal one, and then we had CNBC, and now on Monday, a live interview on Charles Payne. And if you remember the 2 interviews Ryan did on TV a couple months ago, the one on Fox with Charles Payne, that one, or no, he was with that chick, right? Liz Clayman, whoever it was. That interview was good on Fox. They don't hate him over there. 2 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Dr. Burry says, I think many are wondering why now. I was saying in the Discord, this guy's Ryan Cohen, he's not taking his foot off the pedal. He floored it with the Wall Street Journal. He ran right through the next set of flags there with CNBC, and he's aiming for the finish line here with Charles Payne on Monday. Dr. Burry says, I have an idea. I will publish a short thoughts. Oh, look, he says he's short. Now, I think he means brief. You got to watch yourself, Dr. Burry, with these knuckleheads on social media. They'll think you're admitting you're a short. I will publish a short thoughts post containing my recommendations as to targets and strategy well before that interview airs. Well, we can't wait, Dr. Burry. Have you guys seen some of these people out on social media? They are not very happy with Dr. Burry's letter on GameStop a couple days ago. They got themselves all twisted in knots. The GameStop cultists, they're not happy with what he said. He said, probably not going to mow ass. Swaps, not really a thing to worry about. DRS, what else did he say? Swaps, DRS, ETFs. People just don't understand what they're looking at. You know, things you've heard me talk about from time to time, saying those things don't matter. There's a reason you don't hear me talking about that stuff. It don't matter. You can trade this stock just fine, focusing on the things that matter with a lot less angst, anger, and red in your portfolio. Just pay attention to the stuff that matters. Learn how to properly value the stock and read momentum up or down, identify support and resistance, and quit listening to knuckleheads that only draw arrows that go up and to the right. That's how you friggin' lose money. Clown shows are fun to watch, but you're not going to make any money listening to a clown. They got so mad at Dr. Burry, they were having to tell their audiences, their viewers, their subscribers, you see, what had happened was Dr. Burry, what he meant was the opposite of everything he said, because he don't want to get in trouble. He's smart. He don't want to get in trouble with the law, with the SEC, the FBI. He's got to say the opposite of what he really means, so when the moass happens, he don't get in trouble. I'm not making this shit up. This is literally what people are saying. No, Dr. Burry said exactly what he meant. He spent 40 fucking pages in 2 weeks writing up 8,000 words to tell you what he thought and what he meant. And you are delusional. You're pathological liars. You're, I don't know what, to try and twist his effort into telling people he meant the opposite. It is disgusting. It's a little bit hilarious. And I just can't believe what people are willing to say on camera to protect their little viewpoint, their little echo chamber. Don't worry, guys. He didn't really mean it. He meant opposites. Opposite day. It's hilarious. Anya says, I seriously don't know how Tony keeps all this in his brain. Anya, I just had a funny conversation with my wife the other day. You know, she had a doctor's appointment on Friday, and every day last week, starting like on Saturday, I asked her, babe, what day is our appointment? Thursday. Okay, what time is our appointment? 3:30. And by the next day, I had already forgot. Babe, I know I already asked you this, but what time is our appointment? Because it's really important for me to make sure that I mentally have that time clear for you. And I want to make sure I remember. And she told me 3:30. The next day, Tuesday. I know you're going to hate me, but what time is that appointment on Thursday? And by Wednesday, when we had the last and final conversation and I finally locked it in my brain, I told her, I said, you know, it's funny. I can remember the earnings per share of AMC 2 years ago, or how much Bitcoin GameStop bought a year ago, to the exact number of coins and the price, and how much they're going to be down if it drops 10,000. And I can remember all these stupid financial facts, but I can't remember what time your appointment is in 3 days. What is wrong with me? I just told her, I said that there's only so many brain cycles I can commit to remembering numbers. And I guess appointment times is just something I'm not good at remembering. Yes, I'm good at stock material. I suck at birthdays, Anya. It's taken me this many years to remember anybody's birthday in my family. But thank God we have devices now where you can put it in a calendar, set alerts for a week before, a day before. You can tag the birthday to their profile on your phone. I'd be lost without that. I can remember a lot of numbers, but there are certain things I'm just not good at committing to memory. Do I dream about stocks? No, I don't. Nope. I do remember gaming a lot, Anya. We'd play games, for hours and hours and hours, and it's just like that gameplay is burned in your eyeball and your brain. I would go to sleep and dream about the same fucking thing, and that's annoying. But I don't dream about stocks. There's no one stock that is my life that I care about enough to dream about them. Now, I will set alerts to alert me if something's happening. I have the comfort of that. And there are certain things that I check every morning as soon as I wake up. But I don't dream about them. Once I walk away from here, that's pretty much it. My wife might tell, she'd probably say I'm lying. He's lying. He's always on his phone checking shit. That's true. If I'm awake, I'm probably checking shit. Checking shit, not chicken shit. Anya says I dream about gardening. I had one bad dream. Anya, we watched Strangers Chapter 2. There's a Strangers Chapter 3 getting ready to come out. With the redhead, the heck is that girl's name? Anyways, there's a lot of stabbing in that movie. And I woke up twice with bad dreams. Thanks to that damn movie. We missed it at the theater. It did horrible. It bombed, and it was only in the theater for like 2 weeks. I really wanted to go see it because it's got a redhead. But it got out of the theater faster than I could get there. So I told my wife, let's watch number 2 on Prime or wherever it is, and we'll try and catch number 3 in the theater if we like number 2. And I thought number 2 was okay, but a lot of stabbing. A lot of stabby. I can't zoom this Wall Street. Oh, let's forget about Wall Street Journal. Y'all already know what that one said anyways. CNBC on the 30th, Ryan Cohen. This one is a little bit more interesting than the Wall Street Journal article. Anyways, Ryan Cohen hopes to pull off a very, very, very big acquisition of a larger consumer company. All right, so we narrow it down a little bit if he's accurately being quoted. He did not say whether he would sell the company's Bitcoin to pull off the deal. Probably don't need to, but if Cohen can grow GameStop to 100 billion market cap, about 10 times its current value, he stands to reap a massive payday. By the way, these GameStop cult leaders will tell you that independent analysts already valued GameStop at $100 million, $100 billion. That is a lie. A revenue consulting law firm helped draw up a compensation agreement and helped set tranches where Ryan Cohen gets various options granted to him depending on cumulative EBITDA and market cap. That is not a valuation of the company. It's a law firm that specializes, one of their specialties is compensation, and they help draw up this comp plan so that it can be put to a vote. The way cult leaders on YouTube twist facts to suit their particular fabricated pumper narrative never ceases to astonish me. They're as bad or worse than the Bed Bath & Beyond people, and it is the number one reason, getting back to what Anya said earlier, I think the reason you cover stocks is because the amount of people putting out misinformation. You're damn straight. That's why I'm covering GameStop, because there are people going live every day lying to their audience all day. Independent firm valued GameStop at $100 billion. Get the fuck out of here. That nonsense. Does your audience believe that shit? If they do, I feel bad not only for you for being a liar or not being smart enough to understand it, but also for them if they actually believe that shit. Now, GameStop could get to 100 billion market cap. I mean, clearly that's why you lay out the incentives so that Ryan Cohen can find the right thing to get them there. Or any of the tranches, but that is not a valuation. No one even knows what he's looking at except maybe him. I think Ryan knows where he'd like to get it. Whether or not he does, God bless him and good luck. I hope he does. I'm long GameStop. Let's go. It's not a valuation. I just don't know if these people don't know what they're saying, if their brain moves faster than their mouth moves faster than their brain, or they just enjoy lying to people. It's going to be really big, very, very, very big, Ryan Cohen said, of the size of the acquisition. It's transformational. It's going to need to be transformational, guys, to get to the type of market cap that he's talking about. This has got to be something huge. Not just for GameStop, he says, transformational, but ultimately within the capital markets. This is something that really has never been done before within the history of the capital markets. Oh my God. I cannot wait to see what this is. And this gets back down to, I see the bear channels on Reddit. They think Ryan's a dummy. They think he has bad intentions. They think he's just trying to hose people. I do not think any of that. I think he has his own plan. I think he has a long strategic plan to transform the company. And I think a lot of retail investors haven't come to terms with that, how long it might take. But I think he fully intends to deploy that capital in a way to transform the company. And look, he's done 2 interviews and a third one coming. He's not doing these interviews because he has no plans. I just want to be clear to the bears out there. He is not doing these interviews because he has no plan. They're going to say, oh, he's doing the interviews just to trick the apes, the GameStop apes. I don't know. I mean, who am I? I know we're not going to change their mind. And they're certainly entitled to their opinion. But the reason they don't like Ryan Cohen comes down to one thing. He's a MAGA person. He likes Trump. Therefore, anything he does, they're not going to be on board with it. That's kind of a silly reason to me. I just think this guy's shown he's doing a lot of good things at GameStop to turn the company around, stop the bleeding, get it operationally profitable. The bleeding stopped. He's doing relentless cost cutting at great personal criticism from employees, from investors. Everybody's pissed at him, but he's doing the hard work that is necessary. He don't give a shit. He's doing the right things. He's got a plan. He knows exactly what needs to be done. Cohen declined to name the company's target, saying only he's seeking a publicly traded consumer company that's undervalued, high quality, durable, scalable, with growth prospects and a sleepy management team. I haven't tried putting this in Grok or Chat GPT, but I'm sure everybody else has. I haven't even really watched most of their videos, the ones that are dreaming about who it might be. Why? Why do I care? Why do I care? Ryan, wake us up when you find the right one. I'm long the stock. I've got a good cost basis. I'm well in the green. I'm patient. I'm not bitchy. I'm not crying. And when you find something good, let us know. If the investment pans out, it has the potential to make GameStop worth several hundreds of billions of dollars. But then he says, if it doesn't work, it will be totally, totally foolish. No, Ryan, don't say that. You almost have me, and now you're trying to scare me. But it's fair for him to. Clearly, he's going for something ballsy as to have this bold of a statement about the impact and transformation of something like this. He is apparently planning something we've never seen before. And those things tend to go either spectacularly up or spectacularly down. I wish him luck. There's a lot of people that would love to see GameStop worth several hundreds of billions of dollars. God, I mean, that sounds crazy to say it, right? I believe we have the components to make it work, and I'm very confident in the ability to make the asset much, much, much more efficient. We've got the governance structure, we've got the capital, we have the operational expertise. Now, when he's talking about operational expertise, it really makes me think it's something retail or omni-channel related. That's their operational expertise, right? A Chewy, a BBBY. He tried to get in there, but management there fucked him. GameStop. That's where their operational expertise is. He doesn't have operational expertise running Molina Healthcare or the Chicago Options Exchange. There are a couple crazy things that I've seen thrown out there. They don't have that operational expertise. So he said publicly traded consumer company. I just dying to know what it is. It's unclear how an acquisition in the consumer space could increase its worth to over $100 billion. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you one thing. It's not going to be a boring ride while we wait to figure it out. It's similar to Berkshire Hathaway, except what Berkshire did in decades, we're attempting to do it in much shorter time in terms of creating that much value. Man, what if he cracked the code? Lacked Throne says ChatGPT says it could be AutoZone. I haven't looked at AutoZone in a while. I think aren't they making cash? Manny says, funny how liberals' heads are exploding because the Melania movie is doing great. Is it doing great? I was worried that it was not going to do good. I showed my wife, I was like, babe, do you want to go see the Melania movie? She's like, who's that? You would laugh if you knew my wife. She's not into politics at all. When I was taking her to vote one of these recent times, she's like, what are we again? I said, Republicans, babe. Okay, it's just one. She's a team player, though. She is, by value, a conservative and a Republican. She just don't care about politics. Anya says, I love you, Scarlett. Thank you, Anya. I will tell her. Andrew says they buy AMC and Adamir and buy shares finally. I just don't think, Andrew, that GameStop is going to buy a company that has both massive debt and massive losses. But, I mean, I know a lot of y'all are hoping that it's going to be AMC. I think it'd be funny just to watch the meltdown of GameStop investors if he did. But I am not saying that he should or that he will. I'm not guessing anything. AutoZone. I saw a few people putting ticker ideas out on X, including eBay. That seems to be a big favorite right now. What do y'all think about that? Let's see what the enterprise value of eBay is. Enterprise value 44 billion. See, I don't know how he buys a company that big. It's not just the market cap. You gotta look at, well, even the market cap's 41 billion. I don't know, how does Ryan Cohen pull that off? He'd have to lever the company up. Can you imagine? Would people be mad if Ryan Cohen took on 30 billion in debt? Oh no, we love debt now. You know, all that shit we talked about AMC having 4 billion in debt. We love Ryan Cohen's debt. 30 billion, love it. It's called leverage. It's using OPM, other people's money. Watch how fast they love debt if that happens. I'm just making a couple predictions now. If he levers up the company, watch how fast these people all of a sudden love debt. Hallie says, am I guessing what he's buying? No, I was just kind of remembering what people were talking about on social media. eBay sounded like an interesting one. It does seem like a sleepy management. But I don't know. Games, movies, pet food. Yeah, I mean, Chewy could be an interesting play. Market cap 12 billion, enterprise value at 12. I mean, that's more in their wheelhouse. It's more accessible. What's cash flow look like? Positive free cash flow. I'm not sure how Chewy gets you to $100 billion valuation, though. That's the problem. This getting to $100 billion valuation is really what is he looking at here? How's he going to do it? Hallie says, my money's on PSA. I mean, Hallie, you might have heard me say nothing happens by accident. Partnership with PSA. They put, what's his name, on the board. I think you have my leading favorite theory. Anya says, do you think Ryan Cohen will want to diversify from trading cards? The problem is, you know, trading cards is a little bit cyclical. Even Michael Burry touched on that in his article. Like, it's a great business to be involved in as long as we're in the up cycle. But if, you know, GameStop could have some downtrend in revenue if trading cards fall a little bit out of favor compared to where they're at right now. But if you own the whole thing, maybe it's another story. Hallie says they would get an eBay with the Beckett marketplace that PSA just acquired. I did read about that. Yeah. Well, Hallie, I'm going to say out of all of the theories that I've heard, I probably like that one the best. And it fits a lot of what he said in that article, right? Consumer oriented, in their operational wheelhouse. I like it. Let's see. Let's run a contest right now. What time is it? 10:46. How many people are in here? How many people are in here? Where's my screen? I'm going to run a contest. Is PSA a cash cow? It's private, Anya, so we don't know, but I believe so, yeah. I'm going to ask a question in the chat, and then you may answer it. What? The question is, and this is going to have a prize. Question is, what company name or ticker, if you want to drop the ticker, is GameStop going to buy? I want you to go on the record in the chat now after my comment. And if multiple people get it right, we'll do a pool and a drawing, one random name out of that pool. And I'll send you the book of your choice from my library of favorite financial analysis books to level up either your chart TA or your financial analysis, or looking at supply and demand zones, looking at volume analysis, candle analysis, whatever you can pick the book. I'll give you a handful to pick from. Pick one company in your comment. You get one pick. If it has more than one ticker or name in it, you are disqualified. Try again. Anya says, send us a bottle of wine. I could do that if you're in the U.S., Anya. And if you're watching this on replay, you can still play the contest at any time up until the point that a name becomes officially announced. Or if I see anything that says, according to sources in the know, GameStop is buying X, that the contest is over. Once it leaks out. Andrew says everyone speculates one deal, it's a four-way deal. Andrew, I don't disagree with you that that would be a way to facilitate getting to a $100 billion valuation. I think it would be very difficult to do it buying one company. But what if he piggybacks? What if it's buy one, get the increased valuation, use that to lever up and buy the next one? It seems like he's going to get very creative. He said things that the capital market has never seen before. Can it be a Canadian company, Anya? Sure. Hallie's voting for PSA. You guys can copy someone else's vote too. Pin online betting. I like the online betting angle. Andrew, I know you're trying to pick four, Andrew, but I can't give you four entries, so you got to pick your number one for the first company that they're going to buy. Hallie says you want to forecast sales on PSA. Just tell us the number. Anya says Railtown. No. BlackBerry. Fanatics. I would have you on, Hallie, but it's getting late. So if you're available tomorrow and you want to talk about this stuff, shoot me a DM in the Discord and let me know your rough outline of what you want to cover and what time you're available tomorrow, because I don't think we have any big plans other than, I still like to go see a movie. So that being said, I think we're going to wrap this up tonight. You can keep on typing in your votes. One vote, one ticker. The first company that GameStop says they're going to buy. And Andrew, you'll get a special prize if on day one they announce they're buying 4 companies. I think you could totally be correct. Multiple companies could be involved, but probably not on day one. All right, let us reconvene tomorrow. I think it'd be fun to reconvene around the time silver starts trading. AZO. Is that, no, that's not Academy, right? Academy is ASO. What is AZO? I know I've seen that damn ticker before. I can't remember it. Oh, AutoZone. Okay. Good Lord, it's up to $3,000 a share now. Fuck. I think we haven't looked at that one since like 2021. Oh my gosh. Should have bought it for $1,200 back then. 3704. Parts is parts. All right. Hallie says son has a hockey tournament. I can totally understand. I had 2 boys that played sports, and you got to be there. You got to be there. All right. Hallie says pull up gym rate. Take the submissions. Multiply by 22. Where are we looking at submissions? Right. Out of here. Get out of here. 24 million annually. Coles, Mark, yeah, thank you. I've heard some people suggest that one. It's possible. It's possible. Hallie, are we looking at annual? 24 million? All right. 24 million times 22 is what? 48 plus, it's around 52 million. I'm just trying to ballpark it. 24 times 22. I mean, not 54, 540 was what I was trying to say. 528. 528 million. And you're saying that is what? Their gross revenue? Or their profit? Gross revenue. Okay. And of these, if we're looking at PSA, it would include PSA and Beckett now. So basically about 100,000 per day. Shit, man. Push Start Arcade in every AMC theater. Yeah, there you go. At least go put some of those damn card vending machines. Yeah, I have PSA 91,000, Beckett 10,000 per day graded. Well, at least yesterday. Mark says at the moment, yes, but Ryan Jamie owner fixes the boomer only image immediately. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Hallie says, one thing of note, sports isn't the top of the list. Yeah, Pokemon. You told me that a long time ago. Pokemon is where it's at. Michael says, Tony, look at Tiger. It's like Hood. That Tiger officially launched crypto deposit and withdrawal services May 2025. I wanted you to tell me that Webull is going to be like Hood. TIGR. Webull's getting stomped. That's not a bad from June of 2023 to January 2026. It's gone up from 230 to 855. Tiger. Let's just take a quick peek. I am not familiar with this one. TIGR. Or is it Tigger? The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Oh boy. Provides online brokerage services focusing on Chinese investors in New Zealand, Cayman, Singapore, United States, and international. Revenue is up into the, oh, that's interest and dividend income. Okay. Revenue, we like this chart. This is the trend we're looking for, friends. Up and to the right on revenue. We don't want none of that down and to the right shit. Operating income, beautiful. Net income looks good. Earnings per share, yep. Profit margins, they're all there. 41, 35, 17. All right, that looks pretty good. Balance sheet up and to the right. Not a horrible amount of goodwill. Total assets, total liability, shareholders' equity, positive and growing. Wow. I'm going to so far give you props for calling out the best fucking ticker that we've looked at in the last week. Now, I don't know anything about this company, but just like in the 30-second work over here, it looks pretty good. Cash flow, they have no cash flow for me to read. Come on, man. Analyst forecast have a price target of $14. All right, well, maybe I should sell my Webull and buy Tigger. Webull sucking balls right now. What does a Tigger do? I would ask you instead, Anya, what does the fox say? All right, let's check on Tigger tomorrow. Discord gang, let's get our heads together. We do a risk analysis. We do a deep dive DD, and then we'll have someone present the bull case too. Ladies, and then we'll decide if we're going to buy it on Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a great night. We will see you mañana. En la mañana. No. Por la tarde. No. How do you say in the evening? I'm having a brain fart right now. Oh, well. I'll figure it out tomorrow night. At some point, when I'm available, we will see you tomorrow. Let's go up and to the right.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short swing plays, my fortune flip. Games dodge journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Red warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. It's up on the right. denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, oasis in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. Get us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, oasis in sight. Hedge funds trembling, pennies in shock. GameStop stock, you never stop. Dropping hands to rocket ships. We're not selling, we buy every dip. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. Up and to the right, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Up and to the right, oasis in sight. Billions in cash on the balance sheet. We will win even if they cheat. Tell us more, we don't care. Book value grows with every share. The doubters say it can't be done, but the retail army we've already won. With every share we'll never stop. Investors say we want the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.